Hello guys, Beastie here. I wanted to talk about GSL groups. The selection was this morning and the groups are set, as you guys can see on your screen. So I wanted to talk about them, what I think about them, and who I think will advance once the groups are played out. Okay, so let's start with Group A. So we have TY, Alive, Bial, and Stats. I'll try to do this as quick as I can to not take too long. I think TY is the clear favorite. I think he is the smartest player in the group, and I think he will be advancing first. I think Alive probably the weakest player in the group. His run of 32 matches looked really shaky. Even though I think he's a good player, he just seemed very not consistent, I would say. He had very close games against Scarlet, and from what I know, Bial is probably the best TVZ or ZVT in Korea. So I think Bial and TY will be the closest match, and I think that Bial will definitely take out Alive if they do play. Stats is a bit of a mystery to me. I always consider him an extremely good player, but he's been, again, his plays have been really shaky lately, I want to say. He did beat Ryang and Bian to advance into his run of 32 match. But I'm going to go ahead, for this group, I'm going to pick TY to advance first and Bial second, just because there's two Terrans and Bial's ZVT is, once again, very, very good. Onto Group B. I mean, this group is just, it's a group of death. There's no way around it. The funny thing is, it's 4 players from SKT1, and all 4 of them are extremely good. I think the weakest one for sure has to be Classic. Classic used to be, top Protoss. These days, I think not so much. Innovation for me is the clear favorite here. Innovation is just, I feel like he's better than everyone else, even in GSL, not just, your average Joe. I think Innovation is first. His ZVT, TVZ, sorry, looks unstoppable. He played against Dark recently in the losers thing in GSL, and he beat him 7-4, I think. I think Dark is better TVZ than Su is, so, and Innovation is just way better than Classic in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and, do a boring prediction here. I think Innovation goes first through this group, and Classic, in my opinion, goes out fourth. Dark and Su, I mean, it depends who has better ZVZ. But I'm gonna go ahead and say Dark, because Dark is just extremely consistent player. Like, when Dark is on top of his game, he's on top of his game. There's no ups and downs for him, I feel like. While Su, when he shows up, destroys everyone. But he's very inconsistent, so I'm gonna go ahead and say Innovation first, Dark second in that one. I think Classic stands almost no chance in this group, even to actually win a map. But we'll see. It's a very hard group to predict, but I'm going to go ahead and say Innovation first, Dark second. Group C is, in my opinion, the easiest group. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Hero is going to go out first. I think he will not even have a close game in this group. The second place is a bit trickier because Trap, for me, is a wild card. Trap in round of 32 played in group with TY. And they actually didn't play against each other. Trap beat Armani and Solar to advance 2-1-2-1. So not really, super confident result going through. But, he did advance. And I think because he already beat Solar and Armani, he will probably beat Linok. Let me just see who's playing who. So Trap and Hero first. Hero will most likely win this, I think 2-1, because it is PvP. It is Trap. Like I said, he is the wild card. In the second match, I think Ryang is going to beat Linok pretty badly. I think Ryang is really good these days. I think he's underestimated. And yeah, I think Hero against Ryung might be close, but I think Hero will come out ahead, and then Ryung will just beat whoever advances between Trap and Linux, which I think will be Trap. Linux will probably go out in 4th place. So my picks for this are going to be Hero first, Ryung second, but Trap has a good shot to advance, even in 1st place, because again, he is a wild card, and I think as far as that group goes, one thing is for sure, that Linux is going to be 4th. And on to the group D. SOS, Keen, Bunny, and Maru. I think SOS is very happy about this group. He did pick a Terran, and then Terrans kind of picked each other. One good thing for SOS is he only has to practice one match, or one matchup, which is PVT. So that's very good for him. That's one advantage he's going to have going into this group. His first match is against Keen. I think Keen is a lot weaker than the other players. He's been showing some good results recently, but if you compare it to the other 3, I think he's the weakest. So I think Keen will be 4th. He will be losing to SOS in 1st game. I mean, SOS did pick him after all, so he's probably feeling pretty confident against him. I think Maru and Bunny will be closer than a lot of people expect. I do think Maru will win, because I think Maru, after Innovation, or maybe together with Innovation, are 2 best players right now. So I do think that Maru will win that one. But I also think that Bunny is very, very underestimated player right now. I think he's extremely, extremely good. I've talked to TY at WSG in Shanghai beginning of January, and he said that Bunny is probably 3rd or 4th best Terran player in Korea. And after watching his matches in round of 32, which were in the group against Keen, Zest, and Rogue, he looked really, really good. So, I mean, his games against Rogue, if I remember, it was 2-0. Yeah, it was 2-0. It was super solid. There was no cheese involved. He would just went triple CC, just kill him with mechanics pretty much, and then he beat Zest after that to advance. So, my picks for this group, Maru and SOS are going to win 1st matches, and then Maru is absolutely going to destroy SOS. I think SOS might try some cute pylon rush or some tricks, but I think Maru is just going to win with straight up mechanics. There's no doubt in my mind about that. So I would say Maru wins Bunny 2-1, then wins against SOS 2-0. Now, the 2nd place in this group, even though I think Bunny is extremely good, I think 2nd place will be SOS. Simply because, again, he only has to practice one matchup. And I think TVP's win rates will be very different in 2 weeks, because the match is being played in 2 weeks and 2 days. So I think SOS goes out 2nd, Maru 1st. So once again, Group A, I'm going to just pop these open. Group A, TY and Biel advance. Group B, Innovation and then Dark. Group C, Hero and Ryung, possibly Hero and Trap. And then Group D, once again, Maru and SOS. I want to mention one thing that I'm not sure if people noticed. We all know about recent complaining and whining from Protoss players that PVT is imbalanced and literally unwinnable because of the siege tank buffs. But now Protoss players are complaining about Liberators and Widow Mines as well. But I just want to point out that not one Terran player picked a Protoss player. In fact, most of them said that they do not win TVP recently in practice, and they wanted to avoid Protoss players overall. You can see that the story in these groups have been that the Terran players have been picking Terran players, and if the Terran player was not Innovation or Maru, they were picking Zerg players. Because the Liberator change is happening very, very soon, the results that I mentioned might be different. For example, Protoss players might beat Terran players that you would not expect, because the Liberator change is quite big. I mean, it's going to take 3 shots to kill a Stalker, which is actually pretty huge. If the Widow Mine change goes through, I actually expect a lot of the Terrans players to lose to Protoss players, because if they already said they're struggling now in practice against Protosses, I mean, after the nerfs, it's not going to get any better. But I think the results that I gave, or the opinions that I gave on the results, will be kind of what's expected, in my opinion. But we'll see. The meta might change. Yeah, unless some upsets happen, I think this is how the groups will be playing out. And personally, I think that no matter what patch happens, or bad day or good day from someone, I think Innovation, Maru, and Hero will advance no matter what. I think Group A has the most chance for upsets. And yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the matches. For sure, the first group starts in, well, 7 days. And I'll be watching those, and I'm actually curious, since this is my first time predicting GSL groups, I'm curious to see how I'll do, especially because I feel all the groups are very close. Even though Group A and B are way stronger than Group C and D, I think the groups are just close in skill levels overall, spread out through 4 of them. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. I'll be doing more of these in the future, whether it's for patches or groups, IEMs, DreamHacks, and so on. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.